Hey crew, it's Coach Josh with GarageGangGyms.com, and today I'm taking you through a lower body warm-up. This video is going to be longer than I would expect your warm-up to be. We're going to spend a few extra minutes on foam rolling just so I can make sure you see some of the things that I'm looking for. So get yourself a piece of foam. If you don't already have it, just fast forward into our movement, but we're going to get prepared to move first. So I have the foam roller right on the inner part of my thigh, right? So right where my knee ends and my muscle starts. That's where we're going to hit, right? We don't want to ever hit your bones, but we want to make sure we're getting as close to those bones as we can. That way we're working tendons as well as our soft tissue. Okay, so I'm picking my leg up. I'm tipping my toes down. I'm rocking it back and forth. You can see that as I twist my hip. This is improving flexibility. This hurts like hell, but we're going to spend 2, maybe 3 minutes with this foam roller. If today, let's say you're squatting, let's say today you're saying, oh my gosh, my inner thighs are just on fire. Mine are on fire. If it's that kind of a day, great. Spend most of your 2 to 3 minutes foam rolling on those inner thighs. So as I approach my inner thigh, I'm going to turn away. I'm going to straighten my leg if I can, and then I can turn it off. And based on that, I'm looking for spots that hurt. And I found a spot, and it's right there. My goodness, I'm really cranking it down, squeezing my glute, finding that inner thigh. Because if my glute's on, my inner thigh stretches, and boy, does it make squatting a lot easier. So I'm going up into my hip. All right, great. At this point, you would switch sides. Okay, so the IT band, right across the side. Same deal as with our inner thigh. We're going to start close to the bones, but not on the bones. And then we're going to work our way up towards our hip. Now, gentlemen, ladies, if you need to tap out, okay? What I mean by that is this is painful. So what am I doing? My legs are stacked on top, right? Doing IT band, boy, does this hurt. Trying to squeeze my glutes. This is as hard as I can make it. Feet are up. I had my feet down. Otherwise, you can take some of the pressure off by kicking your foot forward. I haven't moved yet, by the way, because I am burning. I could certainly move, but right here, this hurts a lot. Anyway, if I'm trying to take more pressure off, I can kick my foot all the way back. It actually can help you hit closer to those hamstrings, right? Kind of roll over that bone a little bit. But so I kicked my hip down a little bit. Man, did that come around towards my quad. This is a great way to just give yourself a little bit of attention. Oh my gosh, I'm actually bringing my leg back behind me a little bit. I am sweating. My hip is back. It's even cool in here. It's only 60 degrees. For those of you who putting your arm down, this is causing some pain, what you can do is you can get a pad. A lot of you are actually going to have some yoga mats, even really thick towels you can use. Oh my gosh. So again, I'm rocking back and forth. I'm going to try bending my knee and straightening my leg. The more I move that leg, the better. Going towards that hip. So as I get closer and closer to the top by the side of my hip, I'm actually going to drop my hips lower and lower and lower as I go. We're just going this way. There we go, kicking my hip down. This feels really good now. And I'm going to go all the way up to my side. Okay, so we're talking pigeon now, right? We got through our foam rolling. Maybe we skipped that today because we didn't have too many problems, but we need to do a little bit of opening just to make sure that we can hit depth without too much of a problem, right? Whether it's on squats or deadlifts, we need to make sure our hips are ready. I have my leg kind of like the number 4, I suppose you could look at it. I'm actually on my shin bone here. I'm trying to kick my hip. For some of you, boy, you're way up here. This is really uncomfortable. I can barely get into this position. Most people are going to stick their butt out and try to do this as we go forward. That's not what we want. What we actually want is for me to actually tuck my glutes, right? Because most of you, when you squat, you're going to stick that butt out a little too far anyway. So we just want to make sure we are bringing some attention to our butt. So my butt is actually tucked under a little bit as I go forward, right? So I'm using my other leg to really pull. But what I'm doing is I'm really trying to focus on keeping this glute squeezed. As soon as I lose it, look, I just completely collapse. We're trying to warm up. We got to be active. We got to be moving. If we hold a position too long, that's just going to make us slower. Now, some of you that just absolutely can't even hit the bottom of your squat, spend some time here. If you only have an hour today and you have all these exercises, you're trying to get through your squats, you can get to whatever, skip an exercise today and spend a little more time here. Hit that good range of motion when you can. Most of you who can actually hit a good range of motion, we're just warming those things up. Okay, that's good. We can switch sides now. Okay, so I'm kind of trying to feel what's going on, squeezing this cheek. Then I'm going to tip over. Boy, this side's a little tighter. Yep, so I'm going to kick here. It's a little tighter than the other side. So I'm going to spend maybe 5 extra seconds here, maybe 10 extra seconds. I'm going to let my butt go for a split second just to get a little bit more range of motion. Okay. Yep, and great. So we're going to hit that ankle. So how do we do that? We keep our hips under us. Immediately brings my torso up. This is similar to how we want to be in our squat anyway. We don't necessarily want to be folded over and feeling it in our hamstrings, right? We want to be tucked, nice and tall. This is engaged. Then from there, while my butt's on, I'm going to push myself forward. Now you can see everything stayed on. My hip actually let go. Now it's back on. I feel this big stretch coming all the way from the back of my heel to my knee. I'm keeping my foot down. My foot's nice and stacked, and rest, right? Just a few seconds. That was 15, 20 seconds. That was pretty long. We're pushing. 3, 2, 1, push. Keeping it tight. Push. I'm warming up this hip too. And push. Let's switch to the other side. Easy peasy. So I'm going to tuck my hip. Got to keep that glute on tight, right? That's going to fire this, get my foot on. That way I can push myself forward, really trying to fight to get this butt cheek on. There it is. There's the stretch I'm looking for. Glutes on, foot's down, and I'm burning. Back up. You want control, right? We're not just going to these positions passively, we're active, right? We don't want to just fall into our squat. We want to squat, right? We want to actively sit down, stand up, under control, under tension, and back off. One more, tuck your glutes, pull forward, pushing, feeling, squeezing, and rest. All right, next step, we grab a medicine ball. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to hug it as much as we can, pull it up against our chest, push our chest up into it, while keeping my ribs down. My feet are nice and tight. I take a breath, keeping my hips engaged, squatting down. Keeping my butt engaged, good. I'm in a good position. Then I'm going to fall down. I'm going to take a breath, re-engage my glutes, re-engage my core, pull everything up. Make sure my feet are nice and flat, relax. Big breath, glutes, pull, tight, stand, shake it out, right? Do that again. Nice flat feet. Tight glutes, ribs are down, take a breath. Tight glutes, nice posture. Glutes are on, glutes are on, glutes are on. Good position, squeezing, breath. Take a breath. Glutes, pull your spine up and together. Pushing against the ground, nice and locked. Last time, big breath. Squeeze, push, nice and tight, and stand. Excellent. Okay, next step, we're going to do some airplanes while holding this ball. I'm going to bend, I'm going to tip over. For some of you, this is very complicated, right? Boom, if I can, I'm going to extend. Some of you got to put your foot down and tip over. Totally fine. I'm barely putting my foot down. I'm still squeezing as much as I can. We're going to bend, tip. Why are we doing this, Josh? This sucks. I hate this so much. Because we're learning how to control our glutes, our body's posture, our position, our balance, and it's a great way to warm up if you're about to go into deadlifts or RDLs. The weight really helps force me to have a good posture. If I didn't have this ball, here's what I might look like. Why? Because there's no reason to have a better posture than this. There's nothing pulling me into this position. When I put this ball on my chest, guess what? Now I have a reason. This weight's trying to pull me out of position. This is super nice for my glutes, my back, and I can stand, right? Switch to the other side. Glutes are tight, bend, tip, 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 tip. Back foot went down for a second because I lost my glutes. And stand. Big breath. Tip, 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 tip. And stand. Breath. Glutes, 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 glutes. Put that foot down if you have to. Stand. Rest. Just holding this weight, man, it's getting tiring. And it's only 14 pounds. This isn't heavy, right? But boy, after a while, it gets heavy. Glutes are in, nice and tight. Other side, big breath. Bend, kick over, keeping my butt on. Tip, 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 tip. Feeling a stretch in my hamstring. Standing up, big breath. Foot didn't go down that time. That's right. Josh used to be a martial artist. Switching sides. Nice and tight. Bend. Squeeze. Go, 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 go. Find your butt. Squeeze. Here we go. Oh, I lost it right away. Squeeze. There it is. Why is my right butt not doing its job? And stand. Whew. This is Coach Josh with GarageGangGyms.com. Now you guys are ready to take that bar, maybe your first set of dumbbells, nice and light. Start warming up for your first exercise of the day. Take your time. Really crush it today, guys. Good luck.